Hi everyone, it's Van. Hope you're okay and keeping well and having a nice Friday so far. Today I thought I'd do a video in regards to the book I've recently started reading and mention a couple of other books as well in regards to cozy and whimsical reads. So the first book I'm going to start off with is The Convenience Store by the Sea by Sonoko Machida, translated by Bruno Navasky. What's that one? And it says, welcome to Tenderness, a quaint seaside town in Kitakyushu, Mojiko. I do apologise if I mispronounce any place names. And it's full of hidden delights, and one unexpected treasure is a 24/7 convenience store Tenderness. Sure, it's a bit odd that the handsome manager has his own fan club, and perhaps the customers are somewhat eccentric, but there's a warmth about Tenderness that draws you in. The bright lights are always on, the employees know you by name, and the shelves are stacked with delicious treats from ramen and crispy fried chicken to sweet parfaits. After a while, you will get the feeling that whatever you need might just be waiting for you here. Heartfelt and delightfully quirky, The Convenience Store by the Sea has sold over 500,000 copies between Japan and South Korea. That's the first one. This is the one that was first published, translation wise. And a few months back, they released the nighttime cover, which is slightly different. It's got a slightly different design. Not obviously it's nighttime, but the convenience store itself is slightly different. But that's that one. That's the back. I do apologise for any background noise you might hear. It's quite warm here in the UK at the moment, so I've got the windows open and you might hear traffic, and so I do apologise about that. Sorry. Next up we have the second book, which is what I'm currently reading at the moment, which is Meet Me at the Convenience Store by the Sea, again by Sonoko Machida, translated by Bruno Navasky. Is that one? And it says, welcome to Tenderness. In Mojiko, Kitakyushu, there is a convenience store called Tenderness. Come by if you are having a bad day. A sweet treat to lift your spirits, a quiet place to talk over a warm meal, a kind word when you need it the most. The sound of the sea in the distance. You'll always find more than you imagined possible here. Returning to the heartwarming series that has sold 1 million copies worldwide, Meet Me at the Convenience Store by the Sea follows the customers and employees of a beloved 24/7 convenience store in Japan. These are wonderful, quirky, whimsical stories. They really are sweet treat reads, and I very much enjoyed them and I very much recommend them. They're perfect reads for the spring and summer season, for the spring and summer months and seasons, and they're just very enjoyable. The setting is wonderful. The characters are just beautifully written. They're very, as I said, quirky, very warm-hearted, very, I don't know, they're just characters and storylines what just draw you in, and Mr. Shiba, who is the store manager, is just a delight of a character. And if they ever made a film or a TV series of these books, I would love to see the actor Lee Byung-hun portray Mr. Shiba, because how he's described in the books what he looks like, and he's described. He very much reminds me of Lee Byung-hun, and he's a South Korean actor. He was in Squid Game. He played the frontman, and he's in a TV series called AmberGlow, and he's a phenomenal actor, absolutely brilliant. Everything I've seen Lee Byung-hun, he's just been perfect. And me and my partner, we do enjoy K-dramas and K-films, so we'll watch anything like what's supernatural, cozy, fable, folklore, horror, anything to do with K-dramas, we'll watch it. So that's the Convenience Store by the Sea Books. The next one I want to mention, or last but certainly by no means least, I want to mention is the AmberGlow Candy Store by Hiyoko Kurisu, translated by Matt Treyvaud. Again, I do apologise if I mispronounce anybody's names. And this is a wonderful little story, little book rather, with little short, whimsical, heartfelt stories in it. I'll give you the synopsis now. It says, welcome, we don't get many humans here. At the end of Glowing Lane, at the very edge of the other world, is the AmberGlow Candy Store, open only between the full moon and the new moon. Behind the cosy caramel timber facade is Kagetsu, the store's half-fox proprietor, whose wagashi confections promise to change the lives of his customers for the better. Kagetsu's door is always open to anyone in need of solace, a lovesick teenage girl, a cripplingly shy estate agent, a struggling first-time mother. But who is this mysterious proprietor? A half-fox spirit he may be, but why is he so interested in his customers and their emotions? And why does each sweet have a recommended dosage? Like the centre of the chewiest caramel, life's most valuable teachings always take time to reveal themselves, and Kagetsu's customers are about to get a lot more than they bargained for. The AmberGlow Candy Store is a charming and cosy fable from Japan, which shows that help is always out there for those who seek it. And this is a wonderful little book. The stories are quite heartfelt, heartwarming, and there is a couple of the stories what do pull on your heartstrings. Mr. Kagetsu, the candy store owner, is quite a fascinating character. He's kind of like half fox, half human, and he is quite aloof at times, but he does, there's a reason for why he's the way he is, without giving any spoilers away. But it's a very beautiful read, and in regards to both Convenience Store and the AmberGlow Candy Store, they're places that you'd really love to visit. Like in regards to the candy store, just to walk into the store to smell the caramels, the licorice, the sweet candy apples and things like that. It's just a delightful little sweet shop that you would love to just spend time in and buy sweet treats from. But obviously, in regards to some of the sweets and the dosages, be careful what you're buying, kind of thing. But it is a beautiful, beautiful read, and I do thoroughly recommend it. And again, in regards to the Convenience Store books, again, these are wonderful little books and ideal to read in the spring and summer months, and they're just enjoyable, relaxing reads, and the characters of both books are so well written, and you just want to, it's like when I finished reading Meet Me at the Convenience Store, I wanted to jump straight back into the world and read the next one, but of course I'm translated, so you have to you have to wait. and but it was, so far it's been well worth the wait. I started reading this, when was it? Yesterday, I think it was, sorry. And straight away you just get drawn in from the first page. I'm just back in, the convenience store world. And they're just wonderful characters. And you just enjoy spending time in, in this world. And I thoroughly recommend them, and I say they'll be perfect stories to read this time of the year. Now the weather's picking up and you got the cherry blossoms and you just want a nice ice cream and just enjoy the sunshine, and these are happy, joyful, heartwarming, sunny reads, So with that, I think I've come to the end of the video. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day and take care, stay safe, happy reading, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye for now. Bye bye.